Oh, hello. I forgot I was being live. I guess I should just go live then. Welcome to Jam City. Oh boy. So, you know my standard protocol. Standard protocol is I talk randomly for a short time. But it's not going to be random because I'm going to share. Hey, the first person to be here is Nigel. How wonderful. Another one of those synchronicities I had yesterday. Similar to the whole, what was the name of that mountain? The tall mountain that I shared a few days back. But before that, I want to tell you something. The CEO of Raytheon came out and made an announcement yesterday saying that these weapons shipments to Ukraine are very good for business. That should tell you the state of humanity right there, just by that alone. Very good for business. I mean, no concern for people, right? Or nothing like that. That doesn't matter. Of course, it never matters. It's only good for business because who cares about people killed by weapons or anything like that? I mean, that's not important. I just thought that was so pathetic. And what does Nigel think about that? This has a ring of truth. Our dreams are building a blueprint. Yes, Nigel. And CERN is hijacking our dreams. That's what I feel like I've had an epiphany. After my surgery dream, something changed again. It seems like there are these incremental changes internally taking place. I kind of am starting to see it as like keys being unlocked within myself. And I actually had a sort of like vision, for lack of a better term, but I'm going to wait till the 5-minute mark or so to actually get into that. Because I know at least a few people will join, so I want to give them the opportunity to do so. Yeah, death business is no life. No, it's no life. And you know, unfortunately, I'm in one of weapons production central here. It seems like even I find myself being indirectly involved with these people because it's just like a parasite in my city, these weapons contractors everywhere here. But yeah, I just found out the new place I'm working at is run by the Department of Defense, and I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. But that's none of my business, and I'm not involved, so. But still, that's just my point. Like, you can't stay away from it. Yeah. It's a parasitic in the extreme, yeah. How you doing, Nigel? Everything good? It's really nice outside right now, though. I'll tell you that the air is very fresh. And the sun was extremely bright today. How was it over there? Was the sun extremely bright? Because over here, it's just absolutely insane. It's overwhelming. So let me tell you about this this is kind of a silly synchronicity, if anything else. So we had a Ukrainian refugee over at my place yesterday. Full of love and peace, my life is full of gratitude. That's awesome. Yes, I love to hear that. It brings me joy. Yeah, so I thought it was going to be refugees, plural, but it was just one lady. But there's going to be more coming our way. But she's staying with my wife's cousin or something. Somebody in her family. She was really nice. Nice lady. Well, we didn't have anything to feed her, so we got Panda Express. Because what else are you going to do? Hey, Texas Danny, what's happening? So why not some takeout Chinese food? Something I never eat anymore, by the way. Because it's poisonous, greasy. Yeah. It's just greasy garbage that's poison. But we got Panda Express for the Ukrainian refugee. And I watched a video later that night reminiscing about the old times with the yellow sun. I'm a refugee from a society hooked on war. It is hooked on war. It's a barbaric society we're in, for sure. Always has been for the longest time, too. Okay, so, and I'm reminiscing about Mad TV. You know, remember Mad TV from the 90s? Come on, you guys know Mad TV. So every once in a while, just to reflect back on my old memories, I would watch some Mad TV skits, like any normal person would. And this one was about like a clothing store or something, Abercrombie and Fitch skit, something like that. And they had a Chinese or the Asian character come in, and they made a joke. Guess what? He was asking, "Can I use your bathroom?" And they said, "No, go to the Panda Express." And I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. Here we go again. Let's play this party again. I just ate Panda Express on a video from 1997, which I didn't even know Panda Express was around back then, by the way. I see a freaking reference to Panda Express on, like, the chances of this are slim, okay? No matter how you look at it. I don't care what anybody says. I remember Mad Magazine. Yeah, hey, Mackenzie, what's happening? Yeah, so that was another one of those synchronicities. And, you know, I think it's part of this sort of a mind-brain mapping interface. So what's CERN? So I thought about CERN, like, and people think of CERN as opening portals, right? If they are opening portals. And we think of these portals as being something outside, something out there. But why should we necessarily think that way when the portals could be us, the people? What if we are their vessel internally, our infinite creative potential in our dream time, like the Aboriginal dream time? That's the Aboriginal creation story. They call it dream time because the Aborigines knew what they were talking about, because they knew that dreams create worlds. And what I'm starting to think is all these dreams I had over the years. So not only are they sort of integrating sort of new perceptions of self and recreating yourself here in the here now, but I think, well, I'll get into this in a second. Let me get to the chat. Addiction is a killer, societal addiction to violence and war. Yeah, the snake is eating its tail. It is. They're closing portals to Dreamtime. You got it. You got it. That's it. What they're doing is they're hijacking like the template to our subconscious, so that they could, what they've been trying to do all along, which is to create their own singularity. And their own singularity, they could take all that information and put it in the singularity, which is the seed, and that seed will sprout into their own new artificial universe that they want to create. So they're using us as vessels for information, essentially, which is possibly one of the reasons why we're seeing all these bizarre synchronicities take place, because that's the way they're mapping our minds. That's the way they're mapping our brains. They're not just mapping it's on a much deeper level. They're mapping a deeper layer of self, a deeper layer than even the subconscious, your eternal self that they somehow have access to. I know this sounds really crazy and weird, but hear me out. They're mapping aspects of self that they're accessing through your dreams, your sort of oversoul, so to speak, for lack of a better term. And they're using that oversoul to collect information, to extract it, put it in the singularity, so that they could jump to that singularity, which will create their new universe. But we are creating new universes too. That is our gift. This is true. I finally realized, for real, like, this is true. We take information from our dreams, and throughout our lives, our dreams sort of build a blueprint. They combine all of these sort of experiences together, whether you're extracting information from parallel worlds or lives that you're living. Your sort of oversoul is combining that information in a sort of like mathematical like formula, and it's filtering out certain things and adding other things, and that information is combining to create its own sort of singularity to birth a new universe after this one dies. So not only is your life experience here very important in the creation of future worlds and universes, but your mind, your thinking, your dreams, even your daydreams, all of these things, your imagination, all of these things are stored to formulate this new blueprint for new worlds in this ever-ending, incessant cycle of creation. If that makes any sense, I don't know, but maybe it does. CERN Collider was built to replace God. Yeah, so every consciousness is unique, and every consciousness has that infinite creative potential, because we're transmitters of God energy, right? For lack of a better term. We're transmitting that sort of energy that can flow through us. And the reason why I'm saying this specifically is because after this weird dream with the surgery, right? And the embarrassing stuff that seemed to have happened in that dream, I started having this sort of really subtle vision that I would meditate on for several days after that. And I would notice this subtle, very, very subtle train, sort of golden light, this sort of particle like golden light. And I started seeing it kind of flow. And I noticed that whatever happened in that dream, what it's supposed to mean, it's almost like something was removed in order to enable this sort of subtle energy to flow. And that's the thing. I think that so many of us are blocked from our full potential, and we don't have that sort of connection, right? And especially since the Mandela effect really started, it seems like we've been increasingly getting more and more cut off from that sort of divine rope to God to fulfill our creative potential. We're being siphoned off. Our creativity, our imagination, our brain mind potential is being siphoned off energetically into something that either they're creating for whatever reason, whether it's a machine, I don't know, but it's being stolen from us. But doesn't mean that they're going to steal it all, not by a long shot. Transmitting and receiving frequency and tuning it out to energize our soul. Yes. Yeah, so that's what we are. We are transmitters and receivers of energy. That's what we are on a fundamental level. And we link ourselves in the chain that I keep talking about of these dreams. We're sort of building our own unique, I'll just call it blueprint, like I did in the title. Our own unique blueprint for our oversoul to create our universe, and then so on and so forth in a Mandelbrot-like set. Anybody? Yeah, so strange conversation. I know, but something happened after that dream. Something happened to me, and something's been happening, the last couple of months, where it was initially this process of letting go and sort of trying to process everything and move beyond a lot of the traumas and things like that, which I feel like I have been. I feel like I have integrated a lot of that trauma and I have overcome a lot of it, literally like in the last 2 months, for whatever reason. And so a dream like that, where I had this surgery, I think was really symbolic of that, where because I'm sort of letting go of these, I don't know what they are. They're blockers, they're programs. Like, I'm starting to realize that there's like almost something inserted into us or into our like overall being in order to prevent us from being who we truly are. It's super hard to explain in words. Yes, you could call it implants. I don't know what it is. But when I had that stuff removed from my mouth like a year or so ago in that other dream, it wasn't really a dream, it was real. And now I have this surgery where it was removed. It feels like an unblocking process to me. Okay, it might be different for everybody. I don't know. Like, everyone's unique, and maybe you never experienced this at all. You have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. But I feel like, me personally, I've had some sort of blockers put into me throughout my whole life to prevent me from reaching my full creative potential, possibly, for accessing the totality of what I want to access. But I'm still able to access, I still have all these dreams and experiences, right? So I still access so much, regardless of what was trying to be blocked. So, yeah, I've been sleepwalking. Anyone else? Transmitter generators. Yeah. Sleepwalking. No, I mean, if I am, I don't know. It is soul surgery when we have trauma removed. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. I kind of feel like some trauma has definitely been removed. Because I'll tell you this, there's these events, let's just say 3 or 4 years ago, that I would replay in my mind. over and over and over, months, almost like a PTSD like thing where I cannot stop thinking about these certain things that happened. But lately, that's not the case at all. They don't even come to mind. They don't hardly ever resurface. Things that I was really terrified of, I'm no longer afraid of. I'm not saying that I've let go of all fear, not by a long shot, but I've let go of a substantial amount of it because I can almost feel it physically. I can almost feel it physically too. Like it's not just something spiritual or mental. Like I'm trying to remember, like, 3 years ago, like being in that mental state of reliving certain things, and it had a physical effect on me. Now it's more free flowing. It's more free flowing energy, for lack of a better word. I don't like the word energy or vibration. I already talked about that, but I don't know what else to use. Not sleepwalking, just awake and sleeping at. Yeah, that's you got it. That same here. I mean, everything is becoming more dreamlike all the time. And if whenever they turn on the Large Hadron Collider, I'm sure that's going to increase. Let them steal some more of our memories, I guess. Well, don't let them actually, screw them. But that's what they're trying to do, it seems. Steal our memories, steal our identities, create some sort of mimic of us, something like that, where they're building their own sort of blueprints for whatever reason that we don't know. A remote healer removed my childhood trauma. I have successfully removed the rest of my trauma. It is like being a constant gardener, though. You have to keep aware. Yeah, you definitely have to keep aware because life has a way of punching you in the face in the most unexpected moments, right? So don't get too, like, it's good not to get too cocky or arrogant or overly confident about achievements, so to speak, because I noticed when that happens, well, God tests you, right? Or whatever it's called. That's what they used to say in church all the time. Or I used to be told that by like pastors back in the day. Hey, God's gonna test you if you say that. I was told this all the freaking time. God's gonna test you. All these years later, I'm like, you know what? Maybe God is gonna test you. Maybe God does test you, because I don't know. Discernment between fear and danger is important. Oh yeah. No, it's stupid to be completely fearless, because then you'll do really stupid things that will put yourself in danger. Yeah, you got to be kind of practical here too, right? You got to use your common sense, of course. Hey, I'm living out my auto, so no sleepwalking. You're living in your car, Texas Danny? I mean, are you all right? Are you like traveling, or is this just something you're doing are you going through hard times, or I'm just curious. If you don't want to talk about it, it's okay. So no sleepwalking. Yeah, you would definitely be aware of sleepwalking if you're living in your car. Yeah, definitely no sleepwalking that I'm aware of, but like Mackenzie said, it's awake and sleeping at the same time is exactly it. That's exactly what's going on. When I sleep, it's not like really sleep. You're just sort of in this ether, or it's so weird. Don't think anyone can. Oh, Dan's here. CERN probably doesn't know the scope of effects or actually what their work does. You know what? You got great point there. Well, we do know it's compartmentalized, so most of them probably don't know what they're doing. We talked about it before, actually. You're absolutely right. They have no idea. But I have to imagine that at least a couple of people know. Like, that wouldn't make any sense if there has to be like a handful of people who are in the know. Otherwise, it just wouldn't make any sense. But what if they are just like smashing particles together, okay? What if that is all they're doing, searching for the God particle? What if that alone is enough without any nefarious intention? What if that act, for whatever reason, has some sort of effect on the entire universe? Because it probably does. Don't think anyone can. How can we have another universe to compare data? Have another universe to compare data? Wait, you don't think anyone can create another universe? No, so that's what I'm saying then, is that in your dreams, you're accessing information to build a blueprint to create other universes later on. Your oversoul is building them layer upon layer upon layer throughout your life. Oh, who's this? Oh man, who we got here, man? Sorry, a little bit distracted by this little racer car here. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay. Yeah, so that's what I think that's how we can compare it, is with our dreams, because that's what we're accessing, is other universes, for the most part, not always. But I think for the most part, that's what we're accessing. Okay, I was able to release childhood parental control through dreams. I regained control of myself, no longer intimidated by my mother in adulthood. That is excellent. That is so awesome to hear. I've had the same issues, by the way, Mackenzie. Very intimidated too. Very, very intimidated and scared for a large portion of my life, for that very reason you speak of. Yeah, I could safely say I've pretty much let that go too. It's you kind of have to. I think it's almost an inevitable process, because look, if you don't do it, I mean, you're gonna end up like, the universe has a way of forcing you to do it, basically, is the way I see it. Or whatever this is that we're in. It sort of forces you to face things. I don't know, a test, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's why nobody can. I wonder if Greys are working with them on CERN. Huh. It's totally possible. Why not? I mean, I do believe Area 51. I know a lot of people don't believe that aliens are there anymore, but I do. I've been very close to Area 51. Very close. And even that place has the weirdest energy, the absolute strangest energy. Like, there's something really weird about that whole region. And I think there is alien activity going on. CERN, totally possible. But then again, though, what if they're working with them? Would they need a machine like CERN if they're like super technologically advanced? If, like, for example, if we've been attempting to reverse engineer their technology, wouldn't, you know what I'm trying to say? It's like, why would they need CERN? Why would the gray aliens need it? They probably could do it on their ship in 2 seconds, whatever CERN is doing. They could probably smash particles with their own fingers. They don't need machines for it. But who knows? Maybe they're, giving them little carrots or something, right? To CERN in exchange for whatever. So that's possible too. So So Dan, what do you mean? Maybe that's why no one can answer why Mandela effect occurred. No one. The danger of experimentation with universal balance makes for an unbalanced universe. Yeah. Hey, DiCello Piano, how are you? Yes. The danger of experimentation with, yes. Scientific data, I mean. They found the God particle in a former dimension I was in. Yeah, remember they were talking, okay, I know they talked about, what was that? Higgs boson, right? I think it was about 2015. They were talking about the Higgs boson particle that they found. And that was actually around the time when things really went through the roof, when they found that particle. So, or was this a different particle that you're talking about, Loyalty? Or is it the Higgs boson? I'm not an Little Racer Car has lots in Portland. Hey, peace. I'm not an expert on particle smashing, but I thought that if matter is entangled in some way, just them smashing it could maybe affect things in some strange way. Yeah. Yeah, well, okay, so everything is linked, right? All particles are linked. We talked about quantum entanglement. There's no thing that's not part of the whole thing, that the entirety of all that is, right? So what if you take just one particle, and that one particle affects all the particles in some sort of reverberation effect, right? So they smash together, and it has like this sort of oscillation that affects the entire universe, like a musical note, right? Like you hit a piano note and it vibrates, and then the whole room hears the piano note. Well, let's say as an analogy, they smash the particles, and now all the particles in the whole universe changes. We generally accept the multiverse theory, but we cannot force access. Maybe it's just a big loop. We are their ancestors. Yeah, it's a big loop, but the loop is ever changing too. So creators upon creators upon creators upon creators, et cetera, an ever morphing, ever changing loop. In a micro macro way, we're learning that we cannot force or control others. No, we cannot. So history has to be a certain way. I think they're trying to make history a certain way. They're trying to make it very streamlined and basically clear-cut, a clear-cut film reel of exactly specific events, not on a macro level. I'm talking about on a personal freaking level, where everyone's life is some sort of pre-programmed, detailed, freaking rat in a maze type situation. Where's the chat? They probably say they're smashing atoms, but who knows what is really happening? What's really going on is 1,000 times stranger. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I don't believe that they're just smashing atoms. I don't. Nope. I do not think that. I think there's more going on. I mean, the thing is too massive, too expensive for there not to be something else. It just, that doesn't answer it, though. It's not enough. It's not enough. Sorry. I'm not satisfied with that answer. I'm okay then, thanks. Hope your stomach's okay. Oh, after the surgery dream? Yeah, I was talking about that before you came. Yeah, I actually feel way different after it. Like something happened, some sort of subtle energetic change occurred after that dream. I guess I don't know what the right word is. a little bit more. There was a blocker of some kind, and now I have more access to my subconscious, the depths of my mind. I don't know. What do you want to call it? I don't know what the word is. Different from Higgs boson? Okay, so it was something else. Interesting. We shouldn't be playing God. No, we definitely shouldn't be. Well, we're not just playing God with that. We're playing God with everything, okay? We're playing God with the weather. We're playing God with artificial intelligence. We're playing God with nuclear weapons. We're playing God with everything. You know, CERN is just part of it. And it's like, what is it going to take for us to get it that it's not a good idea to play God? I'm sure previous civilizations have learned it the hard way. That's not a good idea. But, okay. I think they have credibility because I dreamed about a negative timeline solar event. Yeah. What did you see in the dream? I'm curious. Or can you give me like a 2-sentence overview of what you saw in that dream? Because I've had dreams like that too. Actually, some of the first I've shared where I saw, solar, a CME basically light everything on fire. And there was people running around literally with their heads on fire. And it was, I remember there was computers, there was people, there was like a civilization, but everything seemed very chaotic, unpleasant, dark. People were very angry. And when the sun exploded in this particular dream, it had like the spiral effect. So it was like radiating outwards. So not like an iPad-Go 2 where it was like these pulsations at the end of PED-Go 2. It was like a radiating spiral like this. And when it hit, like it was a bright flash and then you could actually see it coming. And when it hit the earth, like everything like just went up in flames. And people had to go hide to run away from the flames. And the way everyone was acting, it was like almost as if they've seen it before, or it's like, oh, here we go again. Like it's been like this happened many times already. It was a creepy dream. That was one of the first I've shared on this channel. I'll never forget it. Mary Shelley wrote a warning novel called Frankenstein. Yes. Hollywood took out the line, I am God, I am now God. That's like telling a story and taking out the moral. Yeah. Freaking Hollywood and their ways. Come on. That is the whole point of that story. That's totally right. Totally right. Playing God with food. Oh, food, yeah. With the seeds and the Monsanto and the manipulation of GMO and seeds and everything, yeah. In the show Mr. Robot, one of the plot lines was a nuclear power plant wasn't used to power the public. It was used as a power source for a particle accelerator, and they could jump dimensions. What? Seriously? Oh, I have to see that. So your dream is kind of graphic. Yeah, you saw people deformed. I'm sure they would be deformed if you have, the sun emitting so much radiation. The sun must be a portal. Yeah, well, I really think everything is a portal, pretty much. If everything is made up of the same elements, you could technically probably turn virtually anything into a portal. But I think that the most cherished portals is us. We are their portals to access things because of our infinite potential. But the sun too. Yes, I think the sun and the stars are portals as well. Yes. Yeah, but I saw people combust in the flames. Well, so we have similarities in our dreams. You said you saw people combust in the flames. It scorched parts of the earth. Well, look at that. It seems like we might have been seeing the same thing. But did you see the actual coronal mass ejection itself, though, or no? So that's what I'm curious about. Or because I remember seeing the sun itself. Because I had a very negative dream and a very positive one, too, in the same general time frame, where I saw the sun give off this beautiful radiant light, and it was creating these amazing clouds and forms, and everyone was like in this ecstasy, and they were like in this beautiful, like heavenly state, and just like almost praying to God, and there was this beautiful harmony. And then this other dream that was like the total opposite to it. So that's interesting. That's interesting that we have both potentials, I think. We have the potential for both of those scenarios to take place. And maybe not even necessarily one or the other. What if both actually happen? What if one comes and then the other one? Or what if people perceive the same event differently? How about that for an idea? Interesting. Okay. So I experienced astral travel going through the black spot on the sun. Whoa. Nice. Did you see anything else besides that, Mackenzie? I'm going to go for 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes, all right? I read that wrong. You're stoned. You might have saw the future with the sun explode dream. It's getting crazy hot in every summer. Well, look, like the sun is extremely bright here. Today, it was insanely bright. Like I could barely see outside. And I swear it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter because I can't look even close to it anymore. I can't even look close to it anymore. It's just, there's something with it. Yeah. It might have been a future, certainly. The people that were left were trying to force me to drink mercury. Society had collapsed. Yeah, you see, that's the thing, because in my dream, society was still sort of intact, but it was like really, there was people I was encountering in this dream. I saw computers, I saw technology, like that stuff was around. But I almost got the sense that this tech was only used to like for survival or something. Like it was only used to find out what the sun was doing or specifically for that, like no internet or anything like that. And there was these angry people, like they were pissed off. I mean, like super pissed and very unfriendly. Well, I would be too if my hair was on fire, but you know what I mean? Like everyone was so angry in that dream. I'll never forget it. Polar opposite in the positive one. It was just love and bliss and happiness. Just in the past few years, I sometimes have really realistic dreams at night where a complete back history is kind of there and people know me and I know them. We have a history, never happened before. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, you encounter people, you just like sort of know them in your dream, right? You've never seen them in this life, but you're just like, hey, yeah, I know this guy. It's like sometimes there's people I encounter in dreams. I knew this person forever, kind of like in my NDE, where I've had encounters like that. I'm like, whoa, I haven't seen this soul in a few eons. We have a lot of activity. Yeah, I'm sure. Is it windy? By the way, here's a question. Is it abnormally windy anywhere? Because there's been a lot of wind here. And right now it's pretty calm, but almost every day the wind starts and it doesn't stop. And it's relentless. And I've had many people tell me about this wind that doesn't stop, and it's everywhere. So if you have a lot of wind, let me know. Health is wealth for humans. Mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Maintaining balance is so important. Love and peace can be transmitted. Yes. Black space, silver cord, ended up in Egypt. Wow. We have a lot of, maybe these are memories. It probably is a memory. Yeah, Dan, you have the howling wind over there. Cloudy and windy, Texas Danny says. Yeah, it is. It's super cloudy, super windy. The sun is super bright. Everything is freaking weird and unusual and just has this off kind of vibe to it, an ambiance. For sure, for sure. Weather been wacky. Yeah, no, Dan, I've been here a long time too, and the weather here is just completely changed. Like unrecognizably so. Not for everyone, of course, the normies are gonna be like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? It's always been cool surfing spot, bro. Nothing's changed in San Diego, bro. I mean, that's what the surfer dudes will tell you on the beach. But they're wrong. All right, I'm about to close it down. Anybody want to say anything else? Because next time you see me, I'll be in Hawaii. If I even make a video there, I probably should, and I will, because I do something of all my travels. Not that it's like any like a special video or anything. I would just like, film a random thing for a couple of minutes. But the weather has been so just curious, where do you live? Or I mean, if you are loyalty, or like at least, can you give me a region or like what part of the country you're in? It's like the weather has been crazy. Then it was hot one day, then it snowed, then torrential rain. It's been insane. My body is completely out of whack from it. Oh yeah. I can imagine. I mean, a lot, that sounds like something in the Midwest, if I'm not mistaken, weather like that. Actually, do not watch this. Thank you for coming. I'm actually about to end the live stream. Oh, you're in Montana. That is awesome. That is one of my favorite states. I love Montana. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually about to leave. But thanks for coming on. At least you came here for the last minute. I love you too, Nigel. Have fun in Maui. Thanks. I'll try to. Yeah, take care. Have a good one.